What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about 5 red flags to watch out for when you're hiring a digital agency.
What's up, guys? Shlomo here. Got Chris Mechanic. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 red flags that you should look out for when hiring a digital agency. Chris and I have been on many sales calls, and we've talked to a lot of prospects who've worked with previous agencies, who are prospecting with other new agencies, and we've put together a list of the top 5 things that you should really be careful for, that if you hear any agency pitching you that mentions any of these 5 things, run for the hills. They're not someone you want to work with. So we'll kick it off with Chris. Chris, you want to talk about number 1?
Yeah, black box. We call it the black box syndrome. So if there's an agency, and they probably won't lead with this information, but we see more times than you would know agencies that will hold accounts such as like your paid media account behind a black box where you don't have access to it. So this is a really easy one to sniff out. And it's very important that you ask, hey, will we own these accounts? Is a really important one. And will we have access to be able to log into these accounts? Because if you don't and you have to part ways with that agency, then it's a big mess trying to.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll be like, we own it. They won't give it back to you. All the money that you paid for over the time, you lost all your data, everything you built up for, you starting from scratch again. So definitely be careful of that.
Yeah, and along with that is like proprietary systems. So
that
proprietary
is
CMS,
the worst. The worst.
I think agencies build these things to kind of lock you in because it makes the switching adds switching costs.
Yeah,
which makes sense, but it's just not.
Yeah, and you should know that like when you're having a website built for you, if it's proprietary, there's no reason for them to go proprietary. There is WordPress out there that is standard across the board. Right. Anyone could use it. They're only going proprietary, very likely because they're trying to lock you in. I see this a lot with like very niche, like we make dental websites. We make this plastic surgeon websites, whatever it is, and we make it on this proprietary system that if you ever leave us, you're not going to have your website anymore. So we're the only ones that can make changes. All right,
Number two,
guarantees. Anyone that guarantees you that they will be successful is lying, because no one could guarantee when it comes to digital marketing, because there's landscape is always changing. There are things that are happening. They don't know your business well enough. They don't know your sales process. They don't know your product well enough. If they guarantee you that they're going to be able to get results, that's right away you know that they're lying and they're just trying to get your business. Guarantees, you see that a lot in SEO, right?
Yeah, like guaranteed ranking.
Right, guaranteed ranking, and
so,
impossible.
Yeah, right? it's definitely impossible to guarantee that. Sometimes they'll be like, we guarantee that you'll rank for 10 keywords, but they don't necessarily tell you what those keywords are.
Or if those keywords have anyone else competing against them.
So you want to rank, you want to ask, well, what keywords? But generally, you want to steer clear of that, and that kind of goes along with over-promising. A lot of agencies, unfortunately, tend to over-promise and under-deliver, which sucks for us, because we kind of have to. Like most of the prospects that we deal with have been jaded at some point in the past by some.
And we don't sound as exciting, but we're more realistic in what's actually going to happen. So, stay away from guarantees. Look more for strategy. Look for like what's the strategy? Where are you going? What's the actual path to be able to reach our target audience to drive conversions? Look for that. Stay away from guarantees.
Yeah, Number 3. And then this is one of my favorite. I call them 600 a monthers. These are agencies that are too cheap. And from a buyer's perspective, if one agency is charging $10,000 a month and one's charging $600 a month, that's attractive because it's cheaper. But this is the ultimate example of you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
In this industry.
And people think they're getting away by being cheap. They think, I'm saving money. If you're spending paid media and having someone who's one of the 600 a monthers or whatever it is, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Right. Manage that. It's going to be much more expensive for you because you're going to end up losing your actual ad spend and be paying this guy. So be focused more on, I would say, ROI.
Yeah.
If the agency's charging a lot of money, it's because they're probably good at what they do.
Yep.
And they'll probably drive an ROI. So steer the conversation as opposed to price, like how much you priced at, but steer it more towards how is the return on investment going to work out given the agency plus the ad spend.
Yep. All right, and then 4th is actually an interesting one, is digital DNA. So if you want to ask your agency basically, how did you get started? What were your original service offerings? Because there's a lot of kind of we do that to agencies. These are agencies that started maybe with more traditional, maybe on the print side or
Yeah.
the radio side. And then, of course, digital emerges, social media gets all hot, search gets all hot. So they want to add that service line. But all too often, it's like basically they just have one guy who does digital who like doesn't really know that much about any one given thing. So if digital is not clearly in their DNA and you're looking for a digital agency, you should probably find one
Yeah.
that does have. it in
Yeah,
their
those
DNA.
design agencies are also, when you see our services that we also do
Yeah.
PPC, conversion optimization, and everything else.
Everybody does.
Right,
PPC.
right. So yeah, so be looking for that. Make sure that like their foundations are digital, and and that's something that you want to look for. Number 5 is lack of specificity, which means that a lot of times when you're pitching the deal or you call someone, you say, "Hey, what's going on? This is my business. This is what I'm looking for. Can you help me?" And they say, "Yes, I
Yeah.
can help you. Yes, I can help you.
Here's a proposal.
Here's the proposal.
Send your
right,
proposal in
right,
5 minutes.
Exactly. We could do it for whatever amount a month. We could do it. Yeah. So basically, they didn't take the time to look at your account. They didn't take the time to look at your analytics. They didn't take the time to look at your conversion rates. They have no baseline. They have no benchmark to know whether or not they can be successful with you. But they want your business, so they'll just be like, "Yes, we can do that."
Yeah. And like for me personally, like we take a lot of pride in the work that we do. Our business is based heavily on our reputation. So if we mess up, it's definitely it's not good for business. And so anytime that I'm talking with a prospect, I always want to kind of open up the hood, dig in, check out their analytics or
right.
check out their accounts to be sure that we absolutely can help before we
Yeah.
pitch a deal. And if I see an instance where I don't think that we can help or add value,
Right.
I'm the first one to admit it.
Exactly. Just yesterday, we were talking about that
Yeah.
that ad account we were looking at. They gave us access. Part of our sales process always first step is get access to ad analytics, AdWords if relevant, Facebook, and we'll take a look and see if can we help them. Like who's working on it now? Are they doing a good job? Or are they not? What's the potential for us to come in and actually change this around and make it great? And if we can't do that, we won't take the deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, if an agency's pitching you and they go straight for the proposal, they don't try to get more information on your business, understand, stay away.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for an agency, a good digital agency, you know who to call. But if not, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Likes, comments, always appreciated.
Yep.
And thank you for your time today.
All right.
We're out.